Every great achievement begins with a clear mind. Yet, too often we let negative thoughts cloud our vision, blur our purpose, and steal our peace. Today, we will unlock the secrets to cleansing your mind and stepping into a life of focused clarity and unstoppable power. Breaking free from the chains of negative thought is not just a choice, it's a necessity for anyone who desires to live with purpose, power, and peace. Imagine carrying a heavy burden on your shoulders every single day, a burden you can't see but feel deeply inside. This is what negative thoughts do to your mind. They weigh you down, steal your energy, and sabotage your potential. But here's the truth. Those chains that bind you are not stronger than the power you have within to break them. You see, negative thoughts are like weeds in a beautiful garden. If left unchecked, they grow uncontrollably, choking out the vibrant life and clarity you were meant to experience. The first step to breaking free is recognizing that these thoughts are not your identity. They are not facts. They are patterns that have taken root over time, often from fear, doubt, or past disappointments. The moment you realize this, you begin to reclaim authority over your mind. But how do you do this? It starts with awareness. You must become a vigilant observer of your own thinking. When a negative thought arises, don't ignore it, but don't accept it either. Ask yourself, is this thought serving me? Is it helping me move forward or holding me back? This simple question can stop the destructive cycle in its tracks. It's a way of challenging the lie and making space for truth and clarity. Next, you replace those negative thoughts with powerful positive affirmations. This is not about blind optimism, but about choosing to focus on what is possible, what is good, and what aligns with your highest purpose. Every time you do this, you are cutting away at those chains, loosening their grip on your mind and spirit. Now, breaking free is not a one-time event. It's a process, a discipline. It requires patience and persistence, but it's also the gateway to a life where your mind operates with precision and your decisions come from a place of strength, not fear. As you begin this journey of mental freedom, you will start to see your life change. Doors that once seemed closed will open, opportunities will become clearer, and your inner voice will grow louder and more confident. But once you've taken these first steps, how do you maintain this clarity? How do you ensure your mind remains free from the chaos that once controlled it? That, my friends, is where the power of renewing your inner vision comes in, because without a clear vision, your mind can easily wander back into old patterns. Are you ready to discover the secret to seeing clearly again? Too often we look outside ourselves for answers, for strength, for clarity, when the truth is, the most profound power you need is already inside you. It's a power that awakens when you take control of your thoughts and refuse to be a prisoner to negativity. This power is not some distant force. It is your ability to choose, to focus, and to create the life you desire. Think about this. What would happen if you woke up every day knowing that your mind is clear, your thoughts are aligned with your purpose, and nothing could shake your confidence? That is the power of reclaiming your mental clarity. It's a power that transforms confusion into focus, fear into courage, and hesitation into action. And the beautiful thing, it doesn't depend on your circumstance. No matter what storms rage around you, your inner power remains untouchable when you harness your mind correctly. But how do you access this power? It starts by recognizing your authority over your own mind. You are not a victim of your thoughts, you are the master. The moment you step into that role, everything changes. You begin to see negative thoughts for what they really are, temporary visitors, not permanent residents. You learn to dismiss doubts, silence fears, and reject anything that does not serve your highest good. Next, you must feed your mind with clarity. This means deliberately choosing what you allow in: thoughts, ideas, words, and influences. Your mind is like a garden. If you plant seeds of purpose, positivity, and possibility, that is what will grow. If you feed it with negativity and fear, then chaos will take root. The power within you thrives on clarity, and clarity comes from discipline. Once you reclaim this power, your life begins to shift. You make decisions with confidence, speak with authority, and take bold steps toward your dream. You become a force that cannot be stopped, not because life becomes easier, but because your mind becomes stronger. Now that you have this power within, how do you cleanse your mind to make sure nothing clouds your vision again? How do you purge those toxic thoughts so your mental garden remains healthy and vibrant? The answer lies in the art of mental detox, the next crucial step on your journey. Are you ready to learn how to detox your mind and protect your mental clarity? Your mind is a powerful tool, but like any tool, it needs regular maintenance. Just as you cleanse your body from toxins to stay healthy, your mind requires a detox to stay sharp, focused, and free from the clutter of toxic thoughts. Mental detox is not a luxury, it is a necessity if you want to live a life of clarity and peace. But what does it really mean to detox your mind? How do you identify what thoughts are toxic, and more importantly, how do you remove them? First, understand that toxic thoughts are those that drain your energy, shake your confidence, and steal your peace. They come disguised as worries, doubts, fears, and limiting beliefs. These thoughts often replay old stories of failure or paint grim pictures of the future, keeping you stuck in a loop of negativity. The challenge is that these toxic thoughts become habits. They creep in unnoticed, and before you realize it, they control your mindset. Mental detox means becoming intentional about what you allow to occupy your mind. It means hitting the pause button and asking, is this thought necessary? Is it helping me grow or holding me back? When you start questioning your thoughts like this, you begin to create space for clarity and positivity. You're no longer a passive victim to random mental chatter. You become the gatekeeper of your mind. One of the most effective ways to cleanse your mind is to practice letting go of past hurts, regrets, and anxieties that serve no purpose other than to poison your mental well-being. This does not happen overnight. It requires discipline, repetition, and sometimes confronting uncomfortable truths. But with each toxic thought you release, you feel lighter, freer, and more in control. Another powerful step in mental detox is to replace the toxic with the transformation. After you clear out what harms you, fill that space with thoughts that inspire, empower, and elevate your mind. Affirm your strengths, visualize your goals, and speak words of encouragement to yourself daily. This is the process of rewiring your brain to focus on what matters and discard what doesn't. Mental detox sets the foundation for a renewed inner vision, a vision that brings clarity and purpose to your life. It prepares you to see beyond the chaos and distractions that cloud your mind. So now that you have begun purging the toxins from your mind, how do you renew your vision to see clearly and purposefully again? That is the next vital step on this journey. Are you ready to discover how to renew your inner vision for unstoppable clarity? Your mind, your thoughts, your very focus, these are the lenses through which you see the world. When those lenses are clouded by negativity, confusion, or fear, everything becomes distorted. Renewing your inner vision means clearing those lenses so you can see your path, your purpose, and your potential with absolute clarity. But how do you renew this vision? How do you shake off the fog and focus on what truly matters? The first step in renewing your inner vision is to understand that clarity comes from purpose. Without a clear purpose, your mind drifts aimlessly, vulnerable to distraction and doubt. Purpose acts like a compass, pointing you in the right direction even when the road is tough. So ask yourself, what is your purpose? What drives you deep inside? When you reconnect with your purpose, your mind naturally begins to focus, and the clutter of negative thoughts fades into the background. But purpose alone isn't enough. You must also commit to a daily practice of mental discipline. This means dedicating time each day to focus, reflect, and visualize where you want to go. It's not about wishing for things to happen, it's about training your mind to see the possibilities clearly, to map out the steps you need to take, and to anticipate challenges with confidence. Mental discipline sharpens your vision, allowing you to anticipate opportunities and avoid pitfalls. Another key part of renewing your inner vision is surrounding yourself with clarity. This means choosing the right environment, the right people, and the right influences. When your surroundings are chaotic or filled with negativity, your vision becomes blurry. But when you intentionally place yourself in an environment that encourages growth, positivity, and focus, your mind thrives. Renewing your inner vision is like polishing a lens. It takes effort, consistency, and care. But when done correctly, it allows you to see yourself and your future with sharpness and confidence. Your decisions become purposeful, your actions intentional, and your life aligned with your highest goal. Now that your vision is renewed and your mind is focused, the question is, how do you master your mind consistently so you never lose this clarity again? How do you make mental freedom your permanent reality? That, my friends, is the next crucial step on this journey. Are you ready to master your mind and hold on to this clarity forever? Mastering your mind is the ultimate game changer. It's the difference between drifting through life aimlessly and steering your destiny with purpose and precision. But mastering the mind isn't about perfection, it's about control, discipline, and consistency. The moment you realize that you have the power to direct your thoughts rather than being controlled by them is when everything begins to change. Are you ready to take that power serious? Your mind is like a high-performance engine, capable of incredible output when properly tuned, but it can also stall or overheat if neglected. Mastery means learning how to tune this engine daily. It starts with awareness, knowing what thoughts you allow to take residence. You have to become the boss of your mental space, deciding which thoughts get promoted and which get fired. This may sound simple, but it requires real discipline, because your mind will always try to default to old habits, to familiar patterns that keep you stuck. The next step is to establish routines that support your mental mastery. These routines could be as simple as starting your day with focused intention, or setting aside time to reflect and reset your thoughts. The key is consistency. Repetition carves new neural pathways, rewiring your brain to support the kind of thinking that moves you forward, not backward. Every time you catch yourself slipping into negativity and consciously shift to constructive thoughts, you build your mental muscle. Mastering your mind also means protecting it. You have to guard your mental space like a fortress. This means limiting exposure to negativity, whether from toxic people, draining environments, or destructive media. You can't expect to maintain clarity if you constantly refill your mind with chaos. Instead, create a shield of positivity around your thoughts. Fill your mind with empowering ideas, inspiring messages, and purposeful goals. When you master your mind, you no longer react impulsively to challenges. You respond with calm, clarity, and confidence. Your decisions become intentional, your focus unbreakable. You are no longer a slave to circumstance. You are the master of your mental domain. But mastering your mind is only part of the journey. How do you move from mental mastery to lasting calm, transforming chaos into peace? That is the next powerful step you must discover. Are you ready to learn how to transform chaos into calm and live with unstoppable peace? In the midst of life's storms, your mind can easily become a battlefield, a place where chaos reigns and peace feels impossible to find. But here's the truth, moving from chaos to calm is not about avoiding challenges, it's about how you manage your response to them. Imagine having an unshakable calm, a steady mind that remains clear no matter what life throws your way. This calm isn't luck or luck, it's a skill you can develop, and it begins with understanding the nature of your thought. Chaos often enters your mind through fear, uncertainty, and overwhelming emotions. These forces cloud your judgment, creating noise that drowns out your inner voice. The first step to finding calm is recognizing when chaos is taking hold. Are your thoughts scattered? Is your mind racing with worries? These are signs your mental state needs attention. Awareness is your first defense, because you cannot change what you do not see. Once you recognize chaos, you must take intentional action to restore calm. One of the most effective ways to do this is through control of your focus. Where your focus goes, energy flows. If you keep replaying problems, doubts, or fears, your mind will stay trapped in chaos. But when you consciously shift your focus to solutions, to what you can control, and to positive possibilities, you redirect your mental energy toward peace and productivity. Another essential element in moving from chaos to calm is developing emotional resilience. This means learning to hold space for your emotions without being controlled by them. It's about feeling deeply but not being overwhelmed. Emotional resilience allows you to face difficulties head-on without losing your composure or clarity. Finally, calm is cultivated by creating mental habits that prioritize peace, whether that's through mindful breathing, moments of stillness, or regular reflection. These practices train your mind to return to a place of calm, even in the face of external chaos. Moving from chaos to calm is transformational. It changes not only how you think, but how you live. Your decisions become clear, your energy focused, and your spirit steady. But once calm is established, how do you transform those new patterns into permanent empowering habits? How do you make mental liberation your everyday reality? That is the next step on this incredible journey. Are you ready to discover the key to transforming thought patterns and unlocking true mental freedom? Your thoughts are powerful. They shape your reality, your actions, and ultimately your destiny. But what happens when those thoughts are stuck in destructive patterns? Patterns of doubt, fear, and negativity that hold you captive day after day. Transforming these thought patterns is not just an option. It's a necessity if you want to break free and live a life of mental liberation. The question is, how do you do it? First, you must recognize that thought patterns are like any habit, they were formed over time through repetition. The good news is, habits can be changed, but it requires conscious effort and intentional action. You cannot expect a breakthrough if you continue thinking the same way you always have. Change begins when you decide that your current mental state is no longer acceptable, and you are ready to do whatever it takes to transform it. Transformation starts with awareness. Begin noticing the thoughts that run through your mind, especially the ones that trigger negative emotions or limit your potential. Awareness is the key to interruption. When you catch a destructive thought in action, you interrupt its cycle. Don't let it continue unchecked. Challenge it. Ask yourself, is this true? Is this helpful? Does this serve my purpose? By questioning these thoughts, you begin to weaken their power. Next, you replace those harmful patterns with empowering ones. This is where intentional thinking becomes a game changer. You must actively plant new seeds, thoughts of strength, confidence, and possibility. Affirm your worth, visualize success, and speak boldly about your potential. Over time, these new patterns take root, and your mental landscape begins to change. But transforming thought patterns is more than just thinking differently. It's about acting differently. Your actions reinforce your new mindset. When you act on positive thoughts, you prove to yourself that change is possible. This creates momentum, and momentum fuels transformation. Remember, transformation is a journey, not a quick fix. Be patient with yourself and stay committed. Now that you're transforming your mind, the final question becomes, how do you craft a mindset that not only liberates but also sustains your growth? How do you make mental renewal an ongoing, unstoppable process? That is the ultimate art of mental renewal. Are you ready to learn how to craft a mindset of purpose and positivity that lasts? The art of mental renewal is not just a one-time event. It is a lifelong commitment to cultivating a mindset that fuels your purpose and fuels your positivity. It's about consistently returning to a place of clarity, no matter how many distractions, doubts, or challenges try to pull you away. The question is, how do you make this renewal not only powerful but permanent? First, understand that your mind is a garden. What you nurture and water will grow. Mental renewal means intentionally planting seeds of purpose, hope, and possibility every single day. This requires discipline. It means starting each day with intention, setting clear goals for your thoughts, your focus, and your action. When you do this, you train your mind to lean toward what strengthens you, rather than what weakens you. Second, mental renewal demands that you surround yourself with influences that elevate your thinking. This could be the people you spend time with, the books you read, the ideas you entertain. Are these influences lifting you up or pulling you down? Protect your mind like you would protect your most valuable possession, because it is exactly that. A renewed mind is a protected mind. Third, it requires you to develop the habit of reflection. regularly assessing where your thoughts are taking you. Are you moving toward your goals, or are you slipping back into old limiting patterns? This ongoing self-awareness keeps your mind sharp and your vision clear. Mental renewal also means embracing change. Your mind must be flexible, willing to shed old beliefs that no longer serve you, and adopt new perspectives that propel you forward. It's a dynamic process, a continuous cycle of growth, pruning and expansion. When you master this art, your life transforms. You become unstoppable because your mindset is no longer a source of limitation, but a source of power and progress. You think clearly, act decisively, and live purposefully. So today, I challenge you, commit to the art of mental renewal. Protect your mind, feed it with purpose, and watch how your life changes. Your mind is your greatest asset. Renew it daily, and there will be no limit to what you can achieve. The journey to clarity and freedom begins with this choice. Make it